What's up, homies? It's Nickemwit here with part 2 of my Captain Falcon versus Sheik tutorial. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend watching that first. It's also on this YouTube channel that deals with like the most fundamental, mostly neutral game aspects of the matchup. Basically, crouch cancel's good, grab is good, stomp is pretty good too. So part 2 here will deal with killing Sheik when she is off stage. That is ledge guarding. So if it's not obvious, one of Captain Falcon's strongest traits is his punish game. And this is no exception in the Falcon-Sheik matchup. In fact, it's probably exacerbated, if anything. This is one of the matchups in all of Melee that's most predicated on punish game. You know, Sheik can tech chase the shit out of Falcon, can kill Falcon pretty easily when he's offstage. So as Falcon, you really need to make your hits count too. And as good as Falcon's combo game is, and as often as you can combo Sheik into a kill outright, very often you will not be able to get a total kill to the blast zone. You'll have to go for a ledge guard. So against Sheik, as much as commentators over the years have made it sound like you can just cover every option, that's really not the case. Sheik has a lot of mix-ups, so you need to cover the right options at the right times. And if you do choose the right options, you can often either get a kill outright, or set up for a subsequent situation where you can pretty much cover everything, basically cover everything because she has reduced resources at that point. So I've compiled a bunch of clips from many different tournaments, mostly me playing, but also some other players. Old clips, new clips. We're going to look at these clips and talk about what's going on, what the players are trying to cover, and what, the Sheiks are doing on their side of the recovery, what they're thinking as well. So I'm going to turn off my camera so we can get some full screen and just go through these. So, ideally, if you can, you just want to hit Sheik off and reverse knee her if she's above like 70 or so. Then reverse knee is basically always the play. You can also stomp knee sometimes, but I think reverse knee is just generally better. Now, it'd be great if you could just flowchart her by doing stand-up and then reverse knee, or, ledge hogging her by doing stand-up, as works out right here. But generally speaking, that won't actually work. More often at higher levels plays, when you try to do this stand-up, the Sheiks will do this kind of tricky angle where they grab the ledge slightly later. So I think technically, if you time your stand-up absolutely perfectly, you can still ledge hog her almost every time here. But in my experience, that's just not reliable. And most of the people I know who have played against Sheik the most agree about this. So yeah, unfortunately, it isn't generally that simple. Now, here's an example of why I don't like stomp knee as much. You can see Shroomed is at 113 here after this stomp knee, and still actually is able to set up for a good recovery here, like have actual good chance of recovering there. So Shroom did a up B toward the very edge of the stage, which is not susceptible to stand up and then reverse knee. So yeah, I think that whenever you can reverse knee, that's pretty much the best case scenario. Now, if you do think that they're going for this sneaky two edge angle instead of doing stand up, you can just go for the hard read and go for a roll. And that's that. There's really not that much to it in that regard. Now, unfortunately, if they do this up B where they clip the very edge of the stage, then they'll be actionable and you won't be able to punish them. But sometimes, if you roll, you will still be able to get a subsequent punish. Doesn't completely give up the possibility all the time. So this is kind of worst case scenario from Salt here against Shroomed. Notice that in the last game on Battlefield, Salt struggled because Salt did the stand-up and then was not able to reverse knee. So now Salt is like, oh, I gotta get that reverse knee, get it fast. But unfortunately, it's both a tight timing, like a difficult reaction, and it's very hard to tell if Sheik is actually going to make it on stage until she has actually poofed on stage, like fully. So here's a freeze frame right here of Sheik's up B. This does not land on stage, and that is very hard to tell in the moment. So yeah, if Sheik is doing this up B that clips the very edge of the stage, she'll be actionable sooner. So this can be really hard to reverse knee, but theoretically you can still do it. So ideally you want to still do it if you can, but if you're not feeling 100% confident about this, or you want to cover options and pick a set of options to cover, you can sometimes actually deal with this by doing other options. For example, one of my preferred options is doing ascending backer from ledge. See right there, if Sheik does the up B where she clips the very edge of the stage, she does not get her jump back. So this can be a strong way to close out Sheik. And then right here, I'm feeling ready to react against face roll. So I just wait out the up B to ledge and don't get tricked. Really that simple in that regard. Now, on this one, we'll see a couple things happen. First, I get the reverse knee. All right, that perfect. Now next stock, let's see what happens. I missed the reverse knee, which is unfortunate. Gives face roll another chance to recover, but he's still not in the best spot. So then here, I think the same thing. I'll go for the rising back here. But now, if you look at the score count, this is game 4. So face roll did adapt to that and went for the ledge option right there. So missing my reverse knee really cost me right there. And face roll had a smart recovery. Now, right here on the other hand, I do get the back air. Maybe even could have comboed, but his options are basically completely gone at that point. So other reasons why this ascending back air is good. If they decide to poof deeper into the stage, either to the platform or just further horizontally, not clipping ledge, you'll be set up in a really good spot to cover it. So right there, I trade with the poof and then I get the double nipple spike. All right, similarly right here, okay, I get the weak back air, just like hitting pretty much anything else in Melee. If you hit the if you hit the poof, it'll extend your hitbox. So I end up hitting with a weak back air, which isn't quite as ideal. So I think right there, okay, Landance is going to go for the recovery to ledge. I go for the hard route to roll. I end up being wrong, but then I'm still able to dash, jump cancel grab, double up air, easy kill. So it still works out. Right here, don't do that back air, right? Don't do that back air ever. So what you want to do when you come across this situation, okay, here, it'll come again in a second. So again, I missed the reverse knee here. You can see I look slightly stressed in the cam. I do the stand up. This is what you want to do. You want to wave dash down to ledge. Sheik really has no mix up at that point. The only one exception right there is after poofing straight up on Yoshi's, if she's right next to stage, she can actually land on the platform because the Yoshi's platform sticks out slightly over the edge. Now, sometimes you'll see other Falcon players do like a turn on forward tilt or a gentleman or a grab or something. Just do the wave dash down to ledge. It's reactable, and you don't even have to pay attention to a percent then. It's just an outright kill. Now, on the other hand, right here, I thought Spark was going to go for an angle to ledge, and then he goes for a straight angle. So then that's just a free recovery for him. So that's just a wrong guess on my end. Okay, so here we have Salt again reshroomed. This is a double poof situation. So when Sheik is right next to the ledge, she has this double poof thing. So basically if her like up B starts when she's like touching the stage, she can get this double poof. And then what you generally want to do is roll. Roll has a lot of invincibility frames, so it'll get you towards center stage with some invincibility, and then you'll be in a good spot to subsequently cover. Nice thing about Yoshi's and about Stadium right there is you can easily reverse knee when they land on the platform. Now, next stock right here, again, go for the rising back air. Maybe I could combo off that if I were perfect, but it's really hard to react, and it's a weird situation, a weird timing, so I actually never get the combo there. I don't know if I could. But then, again, Landance doesn't have any resources, and easy reverse knee someone. Now, once in a while with the double poof, it does seem like if the Sheik is really deep over stage, or like maybe they start the up B later, you can get hit by it. So that's annoying. I'm not 100% sure what the ideal way to deal with it is, though. But sometimes it does seem like if you do ascending arrows from ledge, like back air or even knee, which is a little bit less plausible, but basically long-lasting hitboxes. I've seen it with Stomp too, I think. You can even hit both poofs sometimes and then still set up for a kill. So that seems like it also works against double poofs sometimes. But the timing is a little bit tricky. All right, so as far as going off stage against Sheik, if you watched my How to Ledge Guard Marth tutorial, you would have seen a lot of these wave dash off back airs. That's okay against Sheik, it can work, but honestly against Sheik, just jump off back air is money. This is such a good option against Sheik. Much like against Marth and with the wave dash, teeter is a good position because it can set you up for ledge hog, but setting you up for turnaround back air is really good too. It covers like extremely conventional angles for Sheik that they will very often set up for. So on the other hand, you don't have to be in teeter right here. I just did an empty pivot and then set up in a good spot to cover the angle. So One thing about this is it's actually a little bit lower risk than you'd expect. Like right there, I could have done a strong knee if I did that perfectly, but I missed a back air and then still end up being safe from a poof on stage. And then subsequently, a lot of Sheiks often do this like upward in diagonal angle. Not totally sure why. It doesn't seem that good to me, but that one's really easy to cover subsequently as well. So here we'll see Lord versus Flash, similar thing. So Lord actually misses that back air way off stage, right? But then is still able to double jump up air, and again, Flash does that kind of diagonal upward in angle, and it's an easy ledge hog right there. So double jump up air after missing a back air off stage can also quite often lead to a kill. Now, right here, we'll see on the other hand, Face Roll does a very smart recovery to ledge. If you look closely, I believe Face Roll also did like a pretty quick jump up B, like up B sooner than Sheik's tend to right there. So yeah, that caught me, and that was a good recovery. Now, here on the other hand is why we got to do that back air sometimes. I do what seems to me to be a very timed roll from ledge, and then it still isn't good enough to kill. But if you look at where Face Roll is right here, I could have jumped and back aired right there, right? So that could have been a kill if I had gone for the right read. Fortunately, Face Roll did such a good angle that anything except the back air pretty much didn't seem like it's a kill there. Now, on the other hand, right here against Laudanus, I do a little fake hack dash and then back air. So a nice thing about that is that Sheiks often set up in this zone, right? We've seen it in like almost all these times I've jumped off and back air. Sheik really like to like set up around there for their poof to get these good poof mix-ups with like the angle to ledge versus like angle like slightly on stage. So if you can catch them repositioning there, either with a jump off back air or with like so something after your refresh, that can be good. Also, even just like a rising stomp from ledge can be good at times as well. All right, so real quick, one thing I want to note: sometimes Sheiks will needle when they're off stage. That should almost never accomplish anything. Just ledge hog after needle after you get hit by needle. Sometimes you'll have to do like a quick pivot wave dash or something. Unless you get hit by like the end of a fat stack of needles, you should just be able to ledge hog after. So that should not really accomplish anything. One thing to note, sometimes doing that turnaround and the little backflip jump can make it easier to knee Sheik, especially after a stomp knee. So here we'll see this Wizzy clip. See, first he'll stomp knee right here, and see he does this turnaround and then the backflip jump. Makes it way easier to stomp knee and hit Sheik off the same side that she was initially hit off. You'd be very surprised how hard it can be to knee Sheik off the same way without this technique. It's actually super difficult. So definitely steal that if you are stomping often. Now right here, Wizzy misses the reverse knee, but it doesn't end up costing him. So on the other hand, right here, I opt for a DI mix-up on Fizz. Now, it might seem like reverse knee it should just be easy, or kneeing from ledge should always be kind of free. But between the reaction time required to get this one on the poof that's really close to ledge, as well as some of the nuance of spacing your knee, it's actually not super easy all the time. Sometimes you'll need to jump from ledge on your very first frame after dropping from ledge. Sometimes you'll want to jump on your second or third frame. But Sheik's hurt box is really short when she's in this like landing squat from her up B. So you have to be actually much more precise than you do against Marth or against Captain Falcon or Ganon. So right here, I felt like I was not going to get the knee, or if I did get a knee, it was obviously not going to be a reverse knee, right? And Fizz would have good DI. So I just opt for a DI mix-up of an extension into an up air, and it ends up paying dividends. So yeah, keep in mind you can go for DI mix-ups too, or extensions. Sometimes even like rising back air from ledge as well, like after they land, if you're not comfortable getting the reverse knee, could be a good extension to go for as well. All right, so here we'll see what people sometimes call a babysit from Wizzy. So Wizzy, you might have seen these in some of the clips I've already shown. They'll sometimes do this jump off and then retreat towards ledge. So this is good because you threaten an angle, a potential offstage threat, and that can reduce the Sheik's recovery options or bait out a bad recovery. So then Wizzy does ultimately just reverse knee afterwards, right? Now, on the other hand, See right here, I do a similar thing and just jump back to ledge, and easy peasy. Now, note that, okay, so there's a double poof. There's a reverse knee on platform, as I said, I think is generally optimal. Right here, I go for a DI mix-up. Much like before, I just didn't feel like I got the first frame jump off ledge and like I was going to get the knee. So I'm thinking in my head, I'll just reverse up air him, he'll DI in, I'll knee him. Now that doesn't work out, right? Because he does not DI in on this reverse up air in a sec. But I still end up doing, let's say I bite the bullet with the babysit right there, right? I don't go to ledge, I just kind of actually, you know, jump off and back air. Now right there, little niche Yoshi thing to go through. If you think she's gonna wall jump back air from ledge, which they very often do, just do stand up and then ledge hog again after. Very easy. Nothing complicated about that situation. Right here, we're gonna see from Cody, a stand up on a straight down mix up. That's another mix up that Sheiks go for. Face roll and Shroomed used to be really known for doing that one. So against that one, you just want to do a stand up and you do it slightly later. Generally speaking, sometimes if they're like pretty high up, you can end up standing up a little bit too early for your own good. And you should be set up to cover other angles as well. Similarly, right here, I'm thinking Dark Almond does some weird high up B, and that maybe he'll have some weird angle to ledge that I'm not totally ready for, so I do stand up. And then, nice thing about Yoshi's and Stadium is that it's very easy to reverse knee after they land on the platform. Really doesn't take too much practice at all. One other thing to note real quick, if for some reason they do like a really high poof, like a fucking upward poof or just one way above the stage, she actually gets quite a lot of drift and it auto cancels, so she can like shield or spot dodge or roll right away. So if for some reason they actually go like up with the recovery instead of like to the platform or to the stage or anything, don't let them do some weird like drift mix up and then like reversal you. Another quick note, Scar Jump's actually pretty good against Sheik if you like using that, because you can Scar Jump both to the platform or to the stage. So if you think they're not recovering to ledge, Scar Jump, and then on stage knee can be pretty cool, pretty easy too. Okay, right here we see me miss a reverse knee. I'm thinking that Laudan is, I misread the situation and I don't react properly, so I don't get like on stage knee like I thought I needed to do, and Laudan goes to ledge. Now, however, I do end up stealing ledge, and right here, this is a funny thing. Tournament winner can actually be kind of decent at killing Sheik. She poofs on stage, you'd be surprised how often you can kill her after doing a tournament winner. So here's tournament winner on him, but by accident that time in knee. Now, on the other hand, sometimes you can get an intentional tournament winner. So, okay, I'll talk in a second about being over 100, but here, I just tournament winner because it's like, you can't really mess that up, right? You don't have to ledge dash like the invincibility. And then I just reverse knee spark and kill. So, yeah, tournament winner can actually be okay against Sheik as well if they're not poofing to ledge. And if they poof closer to ledge but not to the ledge, like, on stage but near the ledge, a lot of times you can still get them with like a dash jump cancel grab right after, or even like a forward smash or back air. Okay, so real quick, over 100 is kind of funny against Sheik. So before I said that the like angles for going to ledge against that you want to do roll, and for going straight up you want to do stand up and then wave dash back to ledge. So if you're over 100 and she does the straight up thing, the thing that you would normally wave dash back to ledge for, if you just do the roll from ledge, it lasts so long that it will actually ledge hog that. And if you want to do stand up, that you have to do it way earlier to cover the same thing that you would normally cover with stand up, but you can cover her sneaky angle to ledge with stand up way easier in this case. Now, something you got to watch out for is like if she air dodges on the stage or something, because then she'll be actionable way sooner and you'll just get punished, especially if you do the roll from ledge. All right, we do have a couple more clips. I just didn't find any of those. Mostly for those you'd be looking in doubles, and I didn't have the time to look through lots of doubles clips because those situations will come up more in doubles. All right, so here's a situation where I leverage the fact that Battlefield You can also do these short hop knees through the platform. They're a lot harder than on Yoshi's and on Stadium, though. Like I said, the Sheik landing squat like lag animation for her up B gets her really low, so it's actually not that hard in this spot. But generally speaking, like it is kind of hard, and also the precision horizontally is hard to get the reverse knee specifically. Getting the knee at all is not that hard, but getting the reverse knee is hard. So here, Laudanus is not, at like 80. He is at 64. So I just go for the DI mix-up of a stomp. And this DI'd in towards stage is a guaranteed stomp knee. So easy kill. All right, and just like any other character pretty much, sometimes Sheiks will air dodge the stage, and then you need to reverse knee them as fast as you can. You have to be like pretty on the ball about this, because a lot of times Sheiks will down smash after they land, and if you're not fast, that can clip you without your legend invincibility. If you just like refresh your invincibility instead, you'll at least be safe, but then you won't get a punish. So yeah, it can be pretty hard, especially because in these air dodge on stage situations, sometimes you'll be looking for double poof, and you also really don't want to roll by accident on the stage when they air dodge on the stage, looking for double poof, because then they'll be able to just run up and grab you. So, okay, one last thing here. If you're not totally sure about if the Sheik is going to land on stage or not, you can do a little like pseudo option select thing, not like a true option select, but then you can wave dash back to ledge and then still potentially reversing them. So right here, I'm not totally sure where Laudanus is poofing, so I wave dash back to ledge, hoping to get a ledge hog, and then still hoping to get a reverse knee if I'm wrong. So I mess up the reverse knee, but it would have worked. All right, and then yeah, not the most practical thing here, but also if you're confident the Sheik isn't going to go for ledge, you can do the ledge hop reverse Falcon punch. That can be a good way to get the crowd, get some momentum, etc. So, all right. That does it for what I think are the most common and important things about killing Sheik when she's off stage. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. There really aren't as many like necessary mix-ups against Sheik. She does have a lot of mix-ups of her own, like she even has a shorten, and these things can affect your your coverage. There's also this new like J-Mook angle stuff. But generally speaking, if you just follow the rules of thumb in this video, you'll be pretty damn set against every player except maybe like 2 or 3 Sheiks in the world. So yeah, drop me a follow or a subscription as we call it on YouTube. You can like, comment, and I will try to have part 3 of this tutorial up in the not too distant future. Also, on the blog these days too, writing the article about baits. So check that out on my blog. What is that? nmwhittier.wordpress.com if you haven't. Yes, that is right. So yeah, thanks for watching, homies. Peace out.